Have you ever been, deep in a project, maybe mixing audio, or right at the best part of a movie, and the lights flicker, and you get that sort of sinking feeling, wondering if your expensive TV or computer just took a hit? Or maybe you've noticed that faint hum from your speakers and just hoped it was nothing. It's pretty common, actually. It really points to the fact that the power coming out of the wall isn't always enough to take. Okay. So today we're doing a deep dive into a specific device designed to tackle exactly those kinds of worries. We're looking closely at the WolfPack 10 AC outlet surge protector. We found it over on the HDTV Supply website. And our goal really is to get past the idea of it just being a power strip. We want you to understand what's really going on inside this thing. We'll unpack why clean power matters. It's not just marketing speak, and how that helps your gear in real tangible ways.
Yeah, it's interesting. Most people only think about surge protectors when they imagine like a big lightning strike. But the reality is much more subtle, isn't it? Our electronics face these small, constant power fluctuations, little voltage spikes, electrical noise, stuff you don't even see. But over time, it can really degrade performance, maybe even shorten the life of your devices without you realizing it. So this deep dive, it's less about just reviewing one product and more about understanding the tech behind power protection, power conditioning. Getting that distinction clear is, I think, really important for taking care of your tech, especially the expensive or sensitive stuff.
That's a great point, a crucial distinction. So we've been digging through the product details, the specs for this WolfPack 10, pulled out what we think are the key things you need to know so you don't have to sift through it all yourself. We're here to give you the essentials on what makes this unit tick and why it's definitely more than just a fancy extension cord. Okay, so let's start pulling back the curtain. Maybe look at the fundamentals first. This isn't your standard plastic power strip. We're talking about a pretty robust unit here. It handles 2,000 watts of power and supports up to 13 amps. That's quite a lot of juice. Enough to comfortably run a pretty demanding setup, right? Like a home theater or maybe music gear or even network equipment.
Right. And that 2,000 watt, 13 amp capacity,
Right.
that's really the foundation.
Yeah.
You need that headroom. It basically ensures that whatever you plug in gets enough power so you avoid issues like current starvation you might get with cheaper strips. And having that solid power base is what allows the other features, the sort of clean power stuff, to actually work effectively. Without enough raw power available, even fancy filtering isn't going to do much good.
Makes sense. And beyond just the power specs, the physical design is telling too. Something that jumped out at me was the form factor. It's a 1U rack mount unit. Now, if you're dealing with server racks, AV cabinets, studio setups, 1U is standard, but valuable space. So this compact metal housing, it definitely suggests durability and where it's meant to be used. And it's not overly heavy either, just under 6 pounds, 5.95 pounds to be exact. So installation shouldn't be too difficult.
And the rack mount aspect, it's not just for looks, is it?
Right.
It allows you to integrate the power protection right into your existing setup. Keeps things organized, stable, which is really important around sensitive gear.
Hmm.
The dimensions, what were they? 18.9 inches long, 8.3 wide, 1.9 high. Yeah, pretty standard 1U size.
Yeah.
It all points towards this being built for people who need reliable, organized power for complex systems.
Definitely. And speaking of organization, let's talk outlets. You get 10 AC outlets total, which is a decent amount for most people, but what's quite smart is how they're arranged. 8 of them are on the back panel. That's ideal for the gear that just stays plugged in, right? Your amp, monitors, servers.
Right.
Keeps the cables tidy, out of the way. Then you've got 2 more outlets right on the front panel, and these are always on. Super convenient for things you plug and unplug often, like maybe a laptop charger or some other temporary device.
Yeah, that separation is quite practical. The rear outlets for the core system components helps maintain that clean setup, and the front ones offer that quick access, that utility. Plus, the specs mentioned independent LED indicators for the outlet segments. That gives you immediate visual feedback on what's powered, which is always helpful for control and just knowing what's going on.
Right. Adds to the convenience factor. And there's more. It's not just AC outlets. The WolfPack 10 also includes a USB port, which is, pretty essential these days. Everything seems to need USB charging phones, headphones, little gadgets. Now, this one provides 5V at 200 mNA. Okay, so it's not a fast charger for your brand new smartphone, but it's perfectly fine for powering smaller things, maybe charging wireless headphones, keeping a tablet topped off, or powering some small accessory without needing another adapter. And also on the front, there's a clear digital LCD display and an LED indicator for standby power, plus a simple main power button.
Adding that USB port, even if it's lower power, shows how these devices are evolving. They're not just about AC anymore. They have to fit into the whole ecosystem of devices we use. And that LCD display, being able to see the voltage reading, along with those LEDs. That's valuable feedback. Real-time monitoring is actually pretty crucial, especially if you're running sensitive audio gear or video equipment. Even small voltage dips or spikes can potentially introduce noise or affect performance in ways you might not immediately trace back to the power source.
Okay, this next bit is where it gets really interesting, where the surge protector part earns its keep, but maybe goes beyond that too. It's not just about giving you more sockets, it's about defense, multiple layers of it. The WolfPack 10 has built-in protection against spikes and surge overloads. That's kind of the baseline, right? But it also specifically mentions shielding against electromagnetic interference EMI, that electrical noise and those sudden voltage fluctuations. And of course, the big surges that can just fry your equipment instantly. The description really hammers home that it delivers clean AC power.
And that term, clean AC power, it's worth unpacking. What does it actually mean beyond just stopping a massive surge? Well, think about tiny bits of electrical junk getting into the power line. Interference. It can come from anywhere, really. Motors in your fridge, fluorescent lights, other electronics nearby. You can't see it, but this static can really mess with sensitive audio signals. It might be that hum or hiss you hear. Or for video, maybe tiny flickers or slight color inaccuracies you can't quite put your finger on. And this constant low-level interference, it puts stress on components over time. Degrades performance, causes weird glitches, shortens lifespan. The specs mention a microcontroller. That suggests it's actively monitoring and conditioning the power, not just passively filtering. It's like it's constantly watching the incoming voltage, smoothing out the ripples, filtering the noise, ensuring your gear gets a steady, clean feed.
Wow, okay, so it's really comprehensive protection, not just the big, dramatic lightning strike scenario, but also guarding against that slow, creeping damage from just everyday dirty power. That seems incredibly important for, say, complex AV setups where picture quality is everything, or definitely in a music studio where the audio signal has to be pure, and having that voltage reading right there on the display means you can actually see if things are stable instead of just guessing.
Exactly. And the benefit goes way beyond just preventing outright damage. Consistent, genuinely clean AC power helps your equipment perform at its absolute best. For audio folks, that means a lower noise floor, clearer sound, more accurate reproduction. For video, stable pictures, better colors, maybe sharper images. Even for computers and network gear, it can mean more stability, fewer crashes, maybe better data integrity. It's really about providing the ideal electrical environment for your devices to do what they were designed to do.
That makes a lot of sense. And another detail mentioned is that it's TAA compliant. Now, for some people, that's important for government purchasing, but what does it generally signal for an end user like you or me?
Usually, TAA compliance suggests a certain level of manufacturing standard and supply chain integrity. It often translates to better build quality, more reliable components. It's kind of an indicator of robustness.
Okay, good to know. And it also supports a wide power input range, 90 to 40 V. That makes it pretty versatile for use in different places, different countries even. Adds to that professional feel.
Absolutely. That wide voltage range is key. It means the unit is designed to handle variations in power grids, making it more resilient. It reinforces the idea that this is built for reliable performance, even if the incoming power isn't perfect. It's another sign of professional-grade design.
All right, so let's just quickly recap the main takeaways from this deep dive. First off, you're getting significant power handling. 2,000 watts, 13 amps, solid base. Then there's the design, the practical 1U rack mount size, the smart outlet layout with 8 rear and 2 front, plus that handy USB port, and maybe the most important part, the sophisticated protection. It shields against surges, spikes, and that electrical noise or EMI.
Right, and the real so what of all this, the key thing to grasp, is that the value isn't just stopping a catastrophic surge. That's vital, of course, but it's also about maintaining that peak performance every single day and potentially extending the life of your expensive gear by feeding it consistent, clean power. That's hugely important for anything sensitive: audio gear, video systems, even a high-end computer setup where stability matters.
That really hits home. This discussion makes it clear that thinking about power conditioning isn't just for hardcore professionals. Whether you're just a regular tech user setting up a home office or building a creative space, it's a fundamental layer of protection we often forget about. It's more than just plugging things in. It's about taking proactive care of your digital life, really. You know, I actually had this annoying hum in my studio monitors once. Drove me nuts. Spent ages checking cables, grounding. Turned out it was probably just noisy power from the wall outlet. Something like this WolfPack could have saved me a lot of hassle. So thinking about all this, what does it mean for your setup listening right now? If clean power can genuinely prevent damage, help gear run better, and last longer, what hidden power issues might be affecting your electronics right now? And how might really understanding power conditioning change how you think about protecting and powering your most valuable devices?
It's definitely something worth considering, isn't it? Take a moment and think about your own setup. Are your most valuable devices just plugged into a basic strip or straight into the wall? Could that little audio hum, or that screen flicker you see sometimes, or even weird software glitches, could they actually be symptoms of unstable power? Just acknowledging that possibility might be the first step toward creating a safer, better performing environment for all your